And here we go.
We are awake.
Hello there, you beautiful, smiling, wonderful people. Just want to give you a little context. So we're going to pretty much jump into advanced post-production and Final Cut Pro. We're then going to do a rapid fire, and then we'll do a deep dive into just good vlogging tips. So stick around, should be fun. Alright, we are in the computer here, and I just want to go over my post-production process of how I take the footage and then boil it down into like what you just saw. So let's just at least press play on like the first like couple of seconds on this, and then I'll jump into how I did some of that. And what a lot of people would think a small space and think, what can I do with it? But like, how do I make the most of a very, very tiny space and turn it into a dope-ass studio? What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new tiny Harry Potter studio. This girl is literally the staircase closet. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff actually happening in that very beginning intro, and one of my favorite parts about filmmaking is music, so I'm going to go into how specifically I did all that stuff. But I want to let's take it back. Let's take it to, I'm going to take a deep breath, and then how we got this imported, pulled it in, and then just probably that first like maybe 30-ish seconds or something like that. Probably more than that, but I don't want this to be too crazy long. Okay, so I have a couple of folders here. I have a folder called Vlog 22, and then I just have a folder for each day. So you have like July 2nd, July 3rd, July 4th, and this is where I just throw all my footage. Like yesterday was not crazy, but here, like you just can see, these are the raw clips that I took, and this is what a raw clip would look like. Let me just show you. Nothing special about it. So once I have all of that, I'll select all of it, come over here, and then create a new project. So I'll put new event. So I actually do need to create a new event for today. So new event, put 11. I know it says 12 up here, but this is technically yesterday's vlog in a sense. I use 1080. You definitely, if you aren't worried about space, definitely up this to 4K. Because it will, even if you record in 1080, like it'll make your films look much better because how YouTube processes stuff. But because I care about my space right now, 1080, it'll probably be default to 29.97, but I like 23.98, so 24 frames per second. Audio is fine, and boom, there we go. So this is what it looks like when it's blank. Usually what I'll do is I'll know what the theme is for the day. Oop, delete. So we're going to click on File, New Folder. This is going to be 2207 1011, and then this is going to be something like, I'll come over to YouTube, and I'll try to type in something like post-production process and film. So this is what comes up when I first start typing post-production. So this may be what I just go with, right? Copy that, and then obviously there's actually not, and it's, some people may use that word post-production. Some people may be like vlog, like something else, so you may want to think about that, but I'm just going to use that for now. because the other day I did say edit, how to edit, which is that. And I'll try these titles out. Like, this is non-committal. Like, if I notice that the title is not doing well, post-production process. Let's just see. Or this could be something like how to start editing YouTube films in Final Cut Pro. You know, there's plenty of different ways we can cut it, and then in parentheses, once I figure it all out, I'll kind of put some stuff. But that's good for now. Cool. Then I'll take that and I'll name that the exact same project. Boom, bam, and then we're going to go and import media, and then we'll just go down to the folder of what it would have been. So this is the folder of that how to turn a staircase closet into a daily vlog. So I would technically just press import, select it, and this is what that looks like here. This is the import of that. So once I do that, I would select everything. Boom. I'll show you what that looks like really quickly. New project. And we'll just put this as a test or example. I would take all of this, minus the audio, and this is what that looks like. 11 minutes. Okay, so before we jump a little bit further in, let me explain what I did in production that kind of made this easier to edit. Still took time, but it made it easier. So I noticed before, if you look at this, the total amount of footage is 11 minutes, which is great. That's wonderful if you know what you need, and that's what you need. But if you look at a previous day, let me look at this. Let me see if I can select everything and it'll tell me the amount. Let me see if I can do that. Hello? If I select everything, does it tell me? This previous day, if I make a new event or new project in here and take everything from this previous day, was 1 hour and 30 minutes. That is a lot to go through when you are editing through. So if you can be as concise as possible with what you're doing with your shots, it makes your post-production process so much simpler. So coming back over here, like I said, this, I think I need to go here, test. This turned out to be, I think, roughly 6 minutes in total, which I was happy with. And so I pretty much cut it down in half. Now, a couple of tricks of how to cut down your footage. Go Rainbow Wheel. Go Rainbow Wheel, you've got this. Alright, so here we are. We have 11 minutes. What I did structurally was I set a timer for 10 minutes, roughly about here. And I said, okay, in 10 minutes I'm going to try to talk about said subject as fast, as quickly as I can, and move as much as I can. So that's what's happening here. I'm talking about something, then I'm moving, let me just play it so you can hear. What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new tiny office, the tiny studio. This girl is literally the staircase closet in my house. So it's a Harry Potter studio, and I love it. Okay, so plenty of things that I would change in this moment, but that's pretty much what I was doing. I set a timer. I said I'm not recording more than 10 minutes on this, and it looks like it took me, with this, though it was 10 minutes, I got about 4.5 minutes of footage out of me changing angles. I then did that again, right here, and I just like tried to think of a different way to present this information, and that was that. Then lastly, I put on my nice sexy B-roll lens, which is somewhere not here, but I put on another lens. This isn't the same lens. And I said, okay, let me shoot like some slow-mo here. This is kind of what that looks like without any slowdown or any edits. Just around the studio. And so I did that for 10 minutes and got about 2 minutes. That's interesting to know the amount of time that it takes me to get maybe some good B-roll comparatively. And then lastly, I came back in after I thought about it. I was like, I actually need to throw a little bit of how-to value in this, because I was more doing like a tour of the thing. So now, to editing, and this will probably be the biggest takeaway maybe of this film for you, is, at least for me, Herx is at the door like chilling. At least for me, I want to make this as dense as possible for content, and so I don't really want any dead space, right? So I'm going to cut that out right there, and then I'm going to listen, right? And anytime I make a pause, it's probably where another cut needs to go. So listen, let's make this a little bit bigger.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new...
So right there, see, welcome to the... And then what I can do is press Control S, come in a little bit, and then what that does is it separates the audio and the video, and I can pull the video so that the audio, you see that kind of dead space right there?
The brand...
Right there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to scale up to 200, so that we can technically get 3 shots, maybe 4 shots out of this. So I can move my head over.
To the brand new...
Here goes another pause right here. Cut. Pull this in for the audio. Move the camera. And this is this button right here. I don't know what that's called. Move it over. Could be up, could be down, whatever.
To the brand new tiny office.
Also, if you know, so another thing...
Office. The tiny studio.
So this is tiny office. I know in the last one I took out office. I wanted to keep studio. We can zoom out by 80. So all you're doing is you're just changing the scale between even just this one little clip that was not that long, and I did change angles, but getting rid of most of that dead space right there. So that...
What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new tiny studio. This girl is...
So you see the difference in that versus that last clip that we had? What is this? Hercules! No, sir! Alright. And then that is pretty much throughout the entirety of this. If you look at all this, that is what I'm doing. I'm going through, cutting out that space, then any breaks or pauses, cutting, Control S on a Mac, pulling it down until there's no dead space, cropping it in 200 or 600 or whatever it is, and then finding where the next dead space is and keeping that going. And then that really just cuts out a lot of this kind of stuff. I'm also going over here for my B-roll, and I'm taking it and I shot it at 59 frames per second. I'm going to slow this down to 50%. and then Control S, or not Control S, Control D to make the duration of each of these clips 2 seconds. And then what I'll do is I'll take something, I'll just take something random here, you know, whatever, cut that, and then bring it over here, and then we need music, right? And so this is another big takeaway that just, I don't know, it makes the difference. So if we kind of come back here and listen to what the music is what's going on, let's pay more attention to the music now. So we got some talking head, we got a little hook, here goes the B-roll that we were talking about, just some random B-roll, and then here goes getting into the value. But watch and listen.
And what it works, a lot of people would think a small space and think, what can I do with it? But like,
so we fade it in, and this is a song lyrically, just one song, like a I've Been Down by NBHD Nick, and then you hear the t, and I don't always cut on the beat, it's just the vibe, and then bada boom. Now, this is interesting. So how did I, usually you fade out a song, but what I like to do instead is try to find where a high point in the song is, and then a high point where my voice is, and then use that as a way to cut off the music.
How do I?
You hear that? How do I, like while I'm talking through that, so that it just doesn't feel like it's abrupt. And then what I did, and this is something new that I'm doing, is I really like using the stems of a song. And what that means is each song is broken up into different pieces as far as what instruments / melody, stuff like that, make it up. And so there's bass, there's drums, there's instruments, and then there's the actual melody of like the song that you just heard, where he's saying, "One to bother with." That's the melody. So with Epidemic Sound, let's go into Epidemic Sound. You can pretty much download the, and I can't remember, is this, okay, where is this at? I'm not sure where it's at right now. But you can literally listen to a song. Let me see, let me just press play on this.
Enough of the code switching. Been hitting my soul, been on the ropes, I'm ready to grow. So get to know niggas.
You can listen to the whole track. You can download the full mix, or you can download all the stems. And so I actually do both now. First one, I really like just how they mixed it together, but now I want to manipulate at least the first minute and a half to give that extra spice. This is just adding on top of the value of this film. Like, this was the last thing that I did to just give it a little bit of extra, like, punch. So what happened is I went through, and you can see with these stems there are several different things that we have. The bass doesn't come in until honestly later on in the film. So if you look here, it doesn't come on until here. So the only two options I had for the start of the film was the instruments and the drums. So I could have just let it in with this.
How do I make the most of a very, very tiny
And that's
space
okay
and
too.
turn it into
That's
a
good.
dope-ass studio? What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new tiny Harry Potter studio. This girl is literally the...
And that sounds great. Like, that's wonderful. But I thought the drums kind of added like this extra like anticipation, like ch, 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 like that. So that is what I did here.
How do I make the most of a very, very tiny space and turn it into a dope-ass studio. What is up, guys? Welcome to the brand new tiny Harry Potter studio. This girl is literally...
And then as the song kind of comes in, like that is, and then you cut out the drums. I could have kept the drums in there the whole time. I could have kept any of that, but I think it's the isolation of each element, ingredient, mixing those, taking them apart, putting them back in different spots, letting my voice talk a little bit, some like using that to do more than what most YouTubers do, where they just use the track. That's it. Oh, I'm just gonna download a song. That's it. That's okay. It's very hard to actually do that for an entire 10 minutes. Like, it's a lot of editing. Like, this probably took me, for this 1 minute, minute and a half, this probably took me 30 minutes. So, like, just listen to, like, just let's last little bit. I want to get at least into the bass, because the bass is something I really love to carry through most of it. So let's jump a little bit further in.
You do with filmmaking or whatever it is. Like, obviously you're going to need a desk, 4-foot desk. I got the computer on Zoom P4. And while doing photo shoots for New Human, I realized, like, I really want to have my own little product shot, like, you know what I mean, where I could, like, get like a, like, say, like this side or what. I love, like, the...
Let me just actually mute myself real quick so we can hear that a little further in.
Obviously you're going to need a desk, 4-foot desk.
That isolation right there.
Like, with this tiny space, this is technically the only real space in here pointed this way. And I wanted a way to use the levels of this space. I feel like my imagination just goes crazy with
and so that's where I kind of like brought it out. So sometimes it's easier to just kind of let it go down and then out and then come back in. Alright, honestly, I think that's it. I think that is enough, like, editing spice to kind of maybe help improve what you've been doing, where taking some basic footage, some just very blah footage, like, remember, it's okay, no, wasn't that great, and editing it in a way that just hits. Alright, I think that's it. The only other thing here is, like, I added some text at the very beginning of the film, which probably took me about 10 minutes to do, to just kind of, like, reconfirm what you're doing right here. And this was just a matter of just, like, lining up some text, making letters a little bit bigger, a little smaller. Well, that little thing, that you've seen that probably before, but, like, same text, 1, 2, 3, ends. So that's actually very simple to do. Boom, boom, boom. Because it disappears at the same time. Same thing here. And that's pretty much it. Alright, welcome to the rapid fire section of this film. Let's just jump, go, boom, let's go. Alright, so what do popular YouTube vlogs purposely why do popular YouTube vlogs purposely overuse jump cuts? Probably because it's entertaining. Are there any vlogs about startups in general, entrepreneurship, etc.? Gary Vee is a great one to check out if you're looking for something in the entrepreneur space. What's the best camera for filming high quality YouTube videos? I already answered this camera. Canon SL3 is what I use. I'll link that in the description below. What is the difference between being a vlogger and a YouTuber? Oh, it's a great question. I think that a vlogger is a YouTuber, but I think more profoundly a vlogger is someone that shares their day, what's going on more organically, versus like a YouTuber is more like showing you a tutorial and we're just sitting down doing this thing. And that, I don't know, I do a mix of both of that, but I like vlogs better. Which is your favorite vlog / vlogger and why? I think I answered this before. I'm watching Catherine Manning right now. Casey Neistat was my favorite, but he's like super super problematic. Like as you more and more you like learn, like you sacrifice so much as a filmmaker, as a vlogger, and yeah. What are the advantages of vlogging? I think vlogging, the main advantage of vlogging is it gives you confidence. I think it gives you confidence in self. It gets you out of your mind and moving, which is good for your health. And it also creates a catalog of like really good work that you can share that can then get you more work. How do I vlog on my phone? I have my phone here. Pick what format. Are you doing vertical or are you doing horizontal? And then use a windowsill, any sort of windowsill. You just put it to the sides, prop it up. That acts as a really good locked off shot, like versus a big old tripod. And then continuously move, like every angle. You need to move almost every sentence, every couple of sentences. And this depends on, like, of course, like how, your style. But the more that you move and keep a consistent conversation, the more interesting that your film is going to be. Let's do like the last couple of these and then we will jump out of our rapid fire. What apps can I use for vlogs? Final Cut Pro is what I use for my filmmaking. You can use Premiere Pro. Is it a good idea to start a new YouTube channel of my daily life vlogs? I would say no, it's not actually a great, wonderful idea, but sometimes there's an itch that you need to satisfy. Like I know that if I were to actually just sit down and do like reviews or some shit like that, I would get much more engagement and stuff because people are literally typing in those exact words. A review of XYZ device or of gear. But it's just not me. Like I'm down to review this stuff. I'm down to like do that, but I need to move. And I think that vlogging takes you out of this exactly perfect setup, like this perfect studio, this absolutely pristine with that backlight right there, like that thing that just like is very popular right now. And it gets you way more used to using what is around you, like all the elements, and it is much more authentic. All right, maybe two more and then we pop it out. What smartphone is best for can I make a YouTube channel about daily vlogs when my life is boring? That's a great question to end on. I think I struggle with this too, but I think realizing that one, you aren't that boring. Maybe you are, that's okay. But just finding a subject to talk about daily, like the subject, and I guarantee you every day you can think of a different thing to talk about within that subject. And then that is really the bulk of the content versus like your boring day of waking up every day and making coffee and then taking care of the kids and then getting headaches and then, running errands. Like, yes, those are all the things that are part of your day, but those can actually be semi-part of the routine of the daily vlog, but making sure you provide valuable content, whatever it is that you do, whether it's makeup or whatever, like figure out what that is that you're passionate about and do that. I thought that I could make like daily films about making websites and all that stuff. I can't. Like I like making websites. I like design, but it's not the passion burning the fuck out of me right now. It's just like it's not the wow. So find something that you can really, that excites you and that's fun to you. And it may be that vlogging is that thing. You just talk about the damn thing. I don't know. All right, cool. What do you want from me? All right, let's talk about the Godox SL60W. This light right here has literally like changed the way I light. Before I had like the Godox, I was using the GVM. It's just like a little video panel that lets out okay light, pointing it up at the wall, and bounces down, and everything in here is pretty much almost lit by this light. Let me show you what it looks like without this light. I haven't changed any of my settings on my camera, but that is how much light is literally filling this space. And there you are. Highly recommend this light. Go check it out in the description below. Alright, I think this is going to be the question, the deep dive question. This is going to be the question I like. Just jump all the way in right here. What makes a good vlog? Alright, there is a triangle, right? What is up? What is up? Wheel Mosley here. I hope that you are having the most just like genuinely chill day today. Chill day today. I hope that's what the vibes are. Like, I have so much like gear that I've bought. Maybe like each film, there's like one piece of gear that I share that has either improved or been dramatically terrible to my vlogging experience. You may have noticed me using this mic, you know, just chilling like this, but I'm finding that with vlogging, like if I want to think, if I literally just had a moment just now where I was like, okay, I want to talk about something. And the way I talk about something is more with my hands, not with just like right here standing still. And what that meant was I couldn't actually show you what I wanted to show you with this light, with this hand occupied. And so, though this is better audio, I think I'm continuing to default into this just either a mic on top of the camera, or maybe not, I don't know, I'm still kind of going back about that, but I need the flexibility of just boom, 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 not big old setup that I'm just staying where I am. That's just not how I vibe. And if you're around me, you know that that's a thing. First question, what focal length is best for vlogging? I think most people would say a wide angle lens. That's what this is right here. It just allows you to get much more in. It just allows you to get much more in the frame. If this wasn't a wide angle lens, I can quickly demonstrate what you might see on a typical kit lens comparatively, and I'm 3 feet maybe away from the lens, like the base of the lens. This is what you might see roughly on a kit lens. Show you the difference. Now this is a 17, not really an 18, but roughly about the same thing. This isn't bad, right? But you saw how much more tighter, how cropped in I am. You know, there are benefits, right? You can get a little more intimate, deeper, detailed shots, right? If you wanted to, it's probably at 35. But the wide angle gives us a nice, it gives us a little bit of room to breathe. So I can link that in the description below if you're interested in getting a wide angle lens. It also makes it easier for you to hold the camera and just kind of vibe out and do the thing, instead of like, there are hacks, there are tricks around it. Like this right here, this camera is, if I kind of turn this around, there we go, it's on auto I think. This camera is tight, right? It's not that great, but I can do a hack and then just set it down somewhere, right, on a table, and then go walk, or show the background first and then show a close-up. I've done this plenty of times in my previous films. I won't take the time right now to kind of show that, but it serves as two things for the viewer, where when you're too tight, when you're like way too tight in here, I don't even think my focal length, okay, my focal length will. When you're too tight, this can be a good thing in an intimate setting where you're like talking, like, hey, like, let me talk to you. Let's talk for a minute. That can be a good thing. But what you can also do is take yourself out of the camera. Imagine I'm not here, right? And then show what this is, this background. And then immediately 1 second after, crop that, like put in you, and it doesn't feel so crazy. Alright, let's put this back to where it was. See, I couldn't do any of this with me holding a podcast mic. Like, that's it right there. That's it. Alright, onward. Next one. How do I build... Not sponsored. What is the best platform for vlogging? That's a really good question. I have this need, I think, like this accomplishment need in my brain to finally make it on YouTube. I really do. Like, I've noticed that over the last several years. It is something that I need to figure out, that has been itching at me, it's there. But I do think that there may be better platforms for vlogging, especially short form vlogging. I feel like TikTok is a good spot to make short 60 seconds, whatever, 3 minutes, they're actually up to 10 minutes now, if you get like crazy good at it, where you can vlog. And I think it is more natural to share like your day-to-day versus trying to convey as much value as possible. So yeah, that is, I'd recommend maybe TikTok. I don't know. What I will say is that if you wonder if I can actually get intimate right here. I haven't really tried out too much. I'm trying to just use one lens for the most part. If you do decide to go with TikTok or YouTube or wherever it is that you're going to do it, you got to go full in. And that's what I haven't been doing. I've been like half committal to all the platforms versus like figuring out exactly how to use a platform and really leaning in. And I think that's why I'm starting to get a little bit of growth on YouTube. And I say a little bit, but like I'm noticing each day things are getting exponentially better than what they were before. All these are about what is a good vlogging camera on a budget. I should do a video about I've done these a couple times before, but not lately, so maybe I should make a video about that. What is the best for audience building, blogging, or vlogging? Okay, we can talk about audience building. We can definitely do that. I think that like when I finally just decided to stick to a topic, stick to something I'm talking about. Each day I'm trying to talk about YouTube/vlogging or whatever. There's a couple more subjects or topics that I can actually venture into. I think once I started just really leaning into that, like that made each day, the next day, easier to do, because it's like, oh, it's something about this, and I didn't have to think that hard. Like today, I woke up. I'd never wake up the day of to make the film and post the film. Wake up the day to make the film, edit the film, and post the film. I never do that. But now I kind of have that freedom because I know what I need, how much I need, all that stuff. But as far as building an audience, that is paramount. Like when I've noticed, like I go to a film, I click on it, I go to a YouTuber and I see one of their videos and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then I go to check out more because it's like, oh yeah, it's a pump, like let's go. And like they're completely unrelated. And it's like, cool. And it's not enough of a buy-in yet for me to be all in on the YouTuber. I probably need to watch at least 5 of their films before I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't care, let's watch whatever. And I don't think that you should box yourself in, but I do think that it is important, of course, to just continue to make similar videos that give value. Find a format. And if you're all over the place, you're like just not, you're not with it. like if you're everywhere, it's not a vibe. Like, what does make a good, entertaining, engaging vlog? And I think you can look at this in several different ways, but I'll come back to the triangle thingy thing that I talked about in some previous thing. And let me write this down. Do I have a pen? I need a pen. Content value, you have catchy personality, and slick editing. Hitting on each one of these, or two of these three, I think is going to make a good vlog. And here's what I think. Having a catchy personality, I think, just comes with who you are, being confident in who you are, then just being able to relay that on camera. Like, some people have very dry humor, some people have very, they're energetic, like me. Like, this is kind of how I vibe. But being able to really share that authentically on camera, I think it's going to make people watch, because you're being genuine and you're also being, like, entertaining. It's like being an entertainer. Now, giving value, I mean, there's so much that can be said about giving someone value, but really what that is instead of being selfish with why you're making something, you're always thinking in your mind, how can I give this other person as much knowledge as I can in, honestly, as little amount of time. I don't know if that, whatever, but like, just how can I make this piece of content like value rich or value dense, meaning like per minute, per second, whatever, like they're getting more and more and more and more, and they're not having like, just like, okay, sure, trying to deliver on the promise of what the video said. And one way to do that, is to really just write immediately when they get into the film, like just giving them that information. Like, let's say you go over a lot of different things. Like, I'm in this film right now, I'm actually going over a lot of vlog related things, but whatever the title's going to be, I'm going to try to put whatever that information is completely upfront for you guys so that you have it. And then if you want to keep on watching and learning more, perfect. But if not, I at least delivered on that promise. And then lastly, which that is really what I want this film to be about, is catchy editing. Like, just dope ass, delicious editing. How can you make something really boring and then turn it into something awesome? Or maybe I should say, how can you take that value that you're giving and shorten it down or make it more engaging, so that not only are they getting that same information, but it's like pop, 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 pop. And that may not be your style either, but like, I think ultimately what a good vlog is it does maybe two things, one for them and one for you. I think one, it fulfills you, it makes you feel good. Like, when you're making this film and you get to the end and you're like, yeah, that was good. Like, I really put my heart out there. I'm proud of the editing that I've done. Like, ooh, that looks so, ooh, that music is good. Like, that hits. You feel pumped about it. You feel amped about it. And then on the flip side of that, because you've delivered on those three things that we talked about, you know that they are going to get something out of it too. And then you're like, okay, on to the next one. And that is something that you got to do when you make a good ass film. You got to be on to the next one. You can't fixate, or else you will be going up and then you will just flatline and drop, because you're so focused on that previous one that you're not thinking about the next ideas of how you can give more value. Alright, I hope this was a little entertaining. I hope this was of value to you. I thank you for sticking with me through me like figuring out, changing up this format a little bit. Like, I'm going to be sharing, I will share a bit. I'm going to be sharing my days as a vlog should be, but I'm trying more to focus on, like, yes, I'm giving you the day, but I'd like to give you more value, if that makes sense. So what'll probably happen is a little bit of setup, a little bit of something in the day, maybe a middle thing from the day, and maybe like the nighttime, some sort of whatever. But the bulk of it will probably be like us talking about vlogging and figuring out vlogging and stuff like that in a way that is more, I don't know what more is, but like, yeah, thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate you. We're getting into Pokemon soon. Just reorganize the entire set. I love making Magic decks. There's like a label for each one. White, blue, black. Every time I go to make a deck, I'm always having to organize like the cards through and then do it. I've got a couple more like new ideas for the studio. I'm kind of wanting like a top down, like I kind of want one, like as I'm thinking more and more about the things that I'm going to be talking about, like camera gear and stuff. It might make, last night ended up hanging up and folding up all of our laundry with Laura. There was so much laundry. I think like maybe there needs to be something like here, like down right here, at least like maybe some paintings, a couple little paintings to add. I've been looking at YouTube analytics, and each video I post I'm trying to like level up a little bit, see what is working, what isn't working, and trying to kind of cater that to you guys. And I noticed yesterday, though it didn't get a lot of views, the engagement and the click-through rate was really, really good, like through the roof. And so like if there are things that you enjoy, like, or whatever, like let me know in the comments below, and I'm gonna try to incorporate some of that stuff in here, because this format is still, we're still figuring out like what we're doing. I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit the like button, big old thumbs up, and then hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell, ding, 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 so that you can get more content of me with Will doing our thing. That is all we got today. Thank you for sticking in with the format and understand. Like, I'm learning what I can do that you guys need and want. And thank you for watching. Until next time, wonderful souls. Peace. I wonder if this... You are dope. You are amazing. You are wonderful.